Whenever you're ready.
Oh my God.
Jessica! I've never been called a fox!
Dana.
That's a classy name for a Harry.
I like it classic.
Okay.
Do you?
Welcome to the Rants and Raves podcast.
Sure.
Out with the bad and in with the good, motherfuckers.
That's right.
Jessica.
Dana.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. Welcome to the Rants and Raves podcast. I am Dana Powell.
I'm Jessica Young. And we are here to rant and rave.
Okay,
Ooh.
Here's the thing.
Quick, jazzy, and snappy.
I like it. And it felt like it was together.
Yes.
But I started to listen to our most recent episode and I was like, nailed it. And we couldn't have been more off.
That's the beauty of it. It's shocking most of the time. Fingers crossed. We are in sync and it seems like it just rolls recording remotely.
Yeah.
But when we try to do something at the same time, no, it's never in unison.
You know what also happened to me? I actually could not listen to the episode. That's horrible to our show. But can I tell you why? It had nothing to do with you. I ugly laughed at least 5 times in the first, 16 seconds.
And you're like, I'm done.
And I couldn't handle. I was like, I can't handle that girl. I have never judged anyone else's laugh. Like you have a crazy laugh, if we're being honest.
It's crazy.
And I love it. Like I love other people's crazy laughs. But my own, I'm like, you sound stupid. And I can't handle it because of that ugly self-talk we do to each other. To ourselves.
Your laugh is adorable and cartoonish. Mine sounds like a foghorn. And no. I've told you many times, and you yourself have witnessed it from me watching you do live shows, or if we've been in an audience together, when I let out my ha, as
everybody
Scott
knows
Gimple
you're
calls
there.
It. Yes, yeah. And I get glared at.
Well, shame on people for glaring at your joy.
Glared at.
I would give them, you know what I've been doing
Makes
lately?
Me laugh harder. I love pissing people off with my laugh.
I've also, when I get mad at people on the street right now, because people are really bad drivers right now.
Okay.
I have just been, I need to describe this since we're an audio medium, or auditory medium. Is that correct? Anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm not smart. I have been pulling the corners of my lips back and down. So like this. And
what is wrong with you?
And then I flare my nostrils and yank my nose up so it looks like this. Okay. And it's my horrible, ugly, like, what's wrong with you look? And then I give them a thumbs down, a quick thumbs down so they know I'm unhappy. And then I give them a swat, like, get out of my sight on the road. I have levels of boo now for people on the road.
You know what? I like it. It's direct. It's to the point, but not offensive.
It's not offensive.
It's not too aggressive, but it's really letting people know I mean business.
I actually have also pulled up next to somebody recently and looked at them with my eyes squinted and went, "Are you okay?" And then when they kind of look at me, I hold my hands up like a steering wheel and I go, "'Cause your driving is bad." Thumbs down.
Oh,
are you okay?
Oh my God. I always had this fantasy and dream that somebody would come up with something almost like the way cabs, maybe they still do, but used to have the
dreamed of that I've even contemplated getting a dry erase board so I could write my own messages.
Yes.
But get out of the fast lane if you're going to drive slower than everyone.
But put it on a marquee or type it out as you're speaking it from your own mouth so you can keep driving, right?
Yes.
Hey, asshole.
Well,
that's like if someone cuts you off.
Yeah.
Which happens on the regular with Maseratis and the like in this town.
Have mercy. I saw a Maserati wrapped in Dior. Did I tell you this?
No.
And Dan Tipton, I was like, and they were driving so slow. It was so gross. It was so, because feed the children, please, dear God. You're driving a Maserati SUV, by the way.
Stop it.
And it
didn't even know that existed.
I didn't either. Well, that's not true. There's a few of them out here in LA. But because I see Bentleys on the 101. I'm like, what is going
Yes.
on with you? What? Like you have money to burn,
Right?
literally light on fire. Anyway, um, it was wrapped in Dior. Can you even fathom? But I said,
No.
and also they were driving so slow. And Dan Tipton said, "Oh, I wonder if it's like a promotion. Like, I wonder if Dior hired somebody to drive this wrapped Maserati."
You
And
know
I was
what?
like, "That's benefit of the doubt, I guess."
Like sub shops and cell phone fix it companies pay people to do that. I'm gonna I'm gonna guess these
Not
people
Dior.
paid to have their faux Dior wallpaper.
It was so ugly. I can't even tell you. Like, I mean, I'm not obsessed with Dior
It's
anyway, but it was
obnoxious.
like
No.
tan and brownish,
Mm-hmm. The
light
classic
beigey.
logo. It's a
Well, it's
Dior,
just
Dior, Dior, Dior,
Dior,
Dior
Dior, Dior,
everywhere.
Dior, Dior,
Yeah.
everywhere. Is that classic? I've never been
Yeah.
rich. I don't know.
No, but I'm saying that like I actually have it handy. That's funny. I have my mom's Dior clutch from like
How
many, many, many years ago. It's in
special.
perfect condition and it has that Dior. I'm saying
Dior,
it's
Dior,
like
Dior,
that,
Dior, Dior,
the
Dior.
YSL for Yves Saint
Correct,
Laurent,
correct.
the
Yeah.
Louis Vuitton, all
Yes.
that jazz.
Yes.
Not my bag, like
Yeah.
literally.
Yeah.
Um, but I do like it because it's just like I would never buy that even if I had the
For
money, but I'm
yourself. Yeah.
like, all right, this is vintage and it's my mom's. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll carry
So
it.
cool. Also, if you have the money to buy those things, that's great and fine, but I hope you're giving back in some way.
Indeed.
Jessica, how was your week? Did you have a good week?
I did. I went back to the mart for the first time, to my old stomping grounds in quite some time since COVID.
Mm-hmm.
It was really fun, and I feel kind of excited because I'm starting some new work for a new client, and I feel kind of energized. I needed
Oh, I love that
I
for you.
needed something to be energizing, and it is. So,
I love that for you.
yeah, it was really fun. And the only thing that was weird, I'm sure this is not shocking, was how many of the showrooms are now gone.
Oh.
Like some of my favorites and places that I've been going to for literally 2 decades. I'm like,
Mhm.
where's so and so? And what about so? They're like, gone, gone, gone.
Yeah,
Because I even know by heart the floors they're all
I'm
on.
sure. Yeah.
And the main floor of like all of my favorite people, there was one showroom
Oh,
left. And I'm
no.
like, wow. So
Yeah.
yeah, it was kind of surreal. But
Well, for my birthday, our mutual friend Thomas wanted
mhm,
to take me out for breakfast. And we
nice.
we try to meet up. We're each other's like one social thing. Like
Mhm,
I see
mhm.
you online. I have lunch once a week
Yes.
with him, and I see Kira. That's about it. Dan Tipton's back at work, so that we don't see him very much.
Right.
But anyway, he took me to. Did you know that the Griddle, which is a famous
Yes, I've been
breakfast
there, but
place
not
on
for
Sunset?
years.
Okay, well, they I think gave up their Sunset space.
No.
Yes, so now they share with Yomashiro up in the Hollywood Hills.
What?
Have you been there? I had
No, but I've
never been.
wanted to go for
It's
years.
stunning. So during the day, it is the Griddle, and at night it is Yomashiro.
No way.
It's so beautiful. There's that Buddha in the little pagoda down on the bottom.
Yeah.
And then of course it's all traditional building and lanterns, and it
Ooh.
overlooks all of Hollywood on the other
Mhm,
side of the hill from
mhm.
us. It was beautiful. And he said that once a month they do an outdoor market there, where just below where you eat, they bring
Yes.
food trucks and craft booths and things up
Mhm.
once a month
We gotta
for
go to that.
outdoor.
I knew about that before COVID and never made it over there.
Yeah.
I'm dying to go there, so we'll
Well,
have to
and of
go.
course we ate outside. I don't know what the building's like inside, but because I didn't have to go in for any reason,
Right?
but it was beautiful out there.
Oh,
You
I
should go
bet.
for breakfast sometime.
For
It's
sure.
not that pricey. And they have one of the best French toasts. Is that how you
Ooh.
pluralize French
Mm.
toast? Anyways,
Nice.
stunning. Yeah. That's one thing I will say about us, what we're going through globally right now with this pandemic is it's really forcing us to look outside the box of um,
Yep.
things to do, how to save businesses, and things to do just for ourselves so we keep our
Absolutely.
sanity.
Yep.
I don't go inside places. I just don't right now.
Mhm.
And so everything we do is outdoors if it can
Yep.
be,
Yep.
if possible. So that was really lovely.
Mhm. Nice.
I
That
am
sounds
so
delightful.
yeah, it's beautiful. I am very, very excited that you have something you're feeling good about.
I mean, it's just yes,
I mean, I know it's still work,
a
but
break from the norm, right?
yes, and you happen to love what you do.
Yes, and it's
Yeah.
just new. It's nice to have exciting new things. I've,
Yes.
for a lot of my life, been very afraid of change and never admitted or wanted to recognize that until
Yeah.
the last few years. And now I'm like, yep, you have to embrace change and not be afraid of it.
Yeah.
And once I have been kind of adopting that attitude, good things come and things just start kind of falling into place.
I
So
love that.
if you're scared, make a change. You can do it.
Uh, I also, I think I've told you
Hmm.
offline anyway. I also have a project I'm working on. I'm very
Yes.
excited about that does have to do with planties.
Hmm.
On my personal Instagram, somebody I posted. I got a couple of birthday plants. My daddy gave me some money and
Hmm.
told me, "You go get something you like, a plant or something." So I did.
So cute. A
Uh,
giant one. That
I
thing is
know.
going
I
to
had
be
no
yours.
clue. It's gonna be bigger than my house, and I didn't know it.
Yes.
I
I
know, but
love
it's so
it.
stunning.
It's really cool.
It's called an Anthurium plowmani.
I can't even pronounce it.
It's stunning, and also it's variegated. Like, I didn't realize how
Hmm.
rare and special it is. When I went to pick up my other dream plant, it was sitting there on the table, and she's like, "Nobody's seen it. It just got here." And I was like, "I'll take it." And then I started wanting to do research about it, and it actually wasn't that easy to find because they are pretty rare.
How cool.
Yeah, so anyway, that's my first, like, I'm a little nervous. But anyway, my project that I'm working on, with a mutual friend of ours, Candy,
Hmm.
revolves around plants, and I am very excited.
It's going to be great.
It infuses my love for goodness and putting good into the world for our
Yes.
children and plants.
Maybe Auntie will be one of the characters. I just named her or him Auntie.
Auntie?
Anthurium, whatever it called.
Oh, yes, Plamani. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Palmani.
Mhm. Yeah, I'm very excited. So we
Yeah.
both have creative endeavors that we're excited about. That
Yes,
feels nice. It's been a long,
it
long
does. I was
I
talking about this last night with friends. Uh, if you are someone who was used to doing anything in the realm of I guess just being active or having a hobby or a love that involved people, period, which
yeah,
a lot of them do, but anything involving playing music, if you were in a band or an
yeah,
orchestra, or you're an actor, whether you act in a big city or you're doing local community theater,
mhm,
anything and everything in between,
yeah,
it has been really hard to not be able to. We've all tried to do what we can from home and
mhm.
online, but you and I know this. It is not the same as going and being on stage and
Oh,
being
Lord,
live in front of an audience or
no, no, no,
going and working on a set or anything else. So
no.
for everyone to not have that outlet
Mhm.
has been hard.
It
So
is.
for us creative folks, we got to have that outlet.
I mean, that's why over the pandemic, I've have like 75 hobbies.
Yes.
I just taught myself to macrame because I'm getting so many plants, I had to move up. I have to
Yes.
hang them.
I'm looking at a stunner right behind you.
Thank you. Yeah.
I know. I can't believe that you learned how to do that too. It's amazing.
Yeah, I will say it's super easy, so don't be that impressed. The thing that takes the longest is cutting the strings to begin with.
Oh,
That's
okay.
what takes the longest.
Yeah.
But I'm enjoying it. It's very peaceful.
Mhm. I love
So,
it. Beautiful.
before we go ahead and move on into our rants,
Mhm.
I just want to say for a long time last night, actually thought that the memes with Kim Kardashian in the whole black suit and
Uh-huh.
mask were a joke. I didn't realize it was actually her.
Amazing. If you don't know what Dana's talking about, then you
Please
clearly
look
have
it up.
not opened your phone or the news.
Yeah, because it's
Shh.
everywhere because it's crazy town.
Yes, for the Met Gala, she wore all black, and that included a black, almost like if you took black tights and pulled it over your face. is
Yes.
what it looked like, and
Like
that's how she
Leslie
went to the Met
Jordan
Gala.
legit put his
Mhm,
underwear over his
mhm,
face
mhm,
and put a side by side. Like it
mhm.
was, listen, you can dress however you want, but like nobody knows it's you, dude.
I
At least
know.
wear a hello, my name is.
It was
Anyway,
so weird.
I just had to say that because I was like, what is happening?
So weird.
And also
Man,
her sister, what's the other one's name?
well, the one that was there that
There,
looked
yeah.
gorgeous, looked like she
That
was in a gown
dress.
made of diamonds, that's Kendall Jenner.
Okay, she looked like she was literally wearing stars from the sky.
Yeah.
It was so
Sh
pretty.
She's a professional model, and she is quite stunning.
Beautiful. I'm not
Yeah.
a huge Kardashian fan or anything, but
Yeah.
I think I sent you the only reason I know any of this. I just got one of those
It's
like,
because of Leslie Jordan.
yeah, because well, he's the one that got me start looking, but then now this did 101 looks from the Met Gala, so that was fun to see a little slideshow. Yeah,
Yes.
AOC, ooh, she caused some
Oh
problems.
my god, did you see Zoe Isabella Kravitz's dress?
Uh-huh.
Holy ma and Billie Eilish.
You guys, it's fun
Come
to
on.
look. It's fun to
Ah,
look.
it's so good.
Okay, are we ready?
Yep.
I don't think there's any other business we have to take care
I
of, is
don't
there?
think so.
So I'm up first.
You are.
This is from a listener, Megan. Hi, ladies. I've wanted to write you for a while now, but I have anxiety just thinking about it. I'm such a dork. You're not a dork. I get anxiety ordering pizza, so you're fine.
Mhm.
I think my rant will be relatable to most women as it has to do with other women in the workplace. Interesting. I have experienced female coworkers who act really fun and bubbly and everything's great in team meetings, still working from home, so our meetings are virtual, but privately messages me about this person and that person and is always angry at someone or something. Sometimes the complaint is legitimate, but I can't reconcile the person they are to us publicly with the one who is a smack talker in private. I'm in my 40s and I'm not down with this, nor do I act like that. It's so weird to me. It is weird. I'm sorry for
Mhm.
that. You know what I say about people like that? And Jessica, you can give your own
Mhm.
opinion. What I tell myself and my friends, because I think we all have these people in our life,
Yes.
unfortunately. I chest my cards with them. I
Mhm.
I accept them for who they are. I understand what could happen,
Mhm.
and I have my chest my cards for young people. That's an old saying, I think. Like if you were playing cards, you hold them to your chest so nobody
Mhm.
can see. So I
Mhm.
don't share anything with you.
You got a
I'm
poker face.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I I know who you are, and I love you for who you are, and I don't trust you as far as I can throw you.
Mhm. No, exactly. I would especially specific in the workplace, for instance, I've always been blown away at people that just say whatever.
Mhm.
I'm like, what? Like, how do you think it's okay to be talking the way you are and to think that all of these people or even just this one person is not going to get it back to this one and that?
But
You just
that's
have
the
to
thing.
learn in life.
Those kind of people don't care if it gets back.
If you tell someone something, you have to know and be prepared. I hate to say this, even if it's something really personal, you have to know that it could eventually get to someone else.
Well, there are
That's the
things
reality.
there's times I say things on this show and then somebody writes in and says, "Oh, I did that," or whatever, and I'm like, "Gah, I wouldn't have spoken about it the way I did."
Ah,
Because we forget, like, it's just
yes.
you and I
Mm-hmm.
have, what almost 1,000 people that
Yep.
we're tiny. We get it. It's fine. Whatever. We accept it. But anyway, that's still a lot of people for me to be just being like, I'm Dana
Yes.
all the time. And when you're talking about your workplace, like, don't shit where you eat, man.
Mm-mm. I only shared stuff like that with like my inner
Yeah,
cronies,
you
right?
got to
Like when
have
you're
your people.
really tight and they're actually your friend, not just your coworker,
Yeah,
that's different.
that's
Whenever
different.
other people would complain, I would change the subject or I
Mhm.
would kind of like and keep walking. I just was like, I don't want to get involved with this crap
Uh-uh.
ever.
The only time I ever say anything is if they're talking about a friend of mine who I know that
Mm-hmm.
that that whatever they're saying is not true about. I will
Yep.
say, you know what? That's actually my friend, and I think you're misunderstanding who they are.
Yep.
Maybe we shouldn't talk about this.
Yep. And I love that you do that because I do that too. I have
Yeah.
said that many a times. I go, hey, I'm going to have to stop you. I know we're friends.
Mhm.
Because sometimes it's with someone that's a friend, sometimes with someone
Sure.
who's close that doesn't realize actually I do know that person and I like them, whatever.
Yes,
But I
yes.
say, I got to stop you. I'm really good friends with so and so, or I know them and I don't want to be part of this conversation. I don't know
Yeah,
anything about that, or actually what you're saying is not true.
right.
So let's just stop.
Because I want to tell also, listener, I'm glad you brought this up because
Mm-hmm.
if that person is talking to you about all these things, sometimes I make the mistake of going, well, I guess I can open up a little bit.
Right.
No, if that person is comfortable talking to you about that, they're probably shit talking you too behind your
Mm-hmm.
back.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I say be careful. And
Yep.
also, like, listen, you and I get together and I love our little gossip sessions, right? But
Yes.
generally speaking, I don't think gossip is healthy for you. And
Correct.
especially at the workplace. Like our gossip is like, oh my God, did you hear so and so got a chinchilla? I hope they take care of it well. It's a big responsibility. you know, so I wouldn't say that we shit talk
Oh
people.
my God.
But it's like, yeah, if you're saying this, and I don't ever want them to go back to somebody and say, um, well, they said this about you or whatever,
Mhm.
because then that person would, I hope that person would say, just, why am I so tongue tied? This happened to a friend of mine specifically this week. So,
Right.
like, a friend told her, somebody said something about her, and I said, let me tell you this, you need to ask why she felt comfortable saying that,
Mhm.
because this person's your friend and that person knows this person's your friend. So
Yep.
why would she open up about that and shit talk you?
Totally.
Something's not right there. You got to question who your friend is
That's right.
and if they're really your friend.
Yes.
Yeah. So I would say this person that's coming to you, you can definitely say, like we said, we do, hey, listen, I'm not into it. Or
Mhm.
you can just let them talk and keep your mouth shut. But just remember, don't trust them.
Yeah, because also usually people who have a problem with everyone or are always talking about someone or complaining, whatever, they're
And
doing it about you too.
oh, yeah, you're on the tip of their tongue when you're not
Uh,
around.
like I started realizing that I'm like, oh, they are have something bad to say or complain about everyone. Guaranteed they do it about me too when I ain't around.
Exactly
So,
my point. Exactly my
yep.
point. And also it is like, how come we're this old and we still have to play these stupid games?
Okay.
It's forever high school, always.
No, it is. So
That's a
ridiculous.
good rant, and it's understandable and relatable. I'm
Mhm.
sorry that that is happening. Don't trust.
Don't trust. Okay, this is a rant from one of our listeners. This is from an OG listener and now friend of Dana and myself. But, for certain things, we say people's names. For other things, I won't. This is from our listener. Okay, y'all, buckle up because I'm back and I have a rant for you. So, my workplace finally decided to start paying us a more competitive wage. And for that part, I'm psyched. The part that I have a problem with is that any person off of the street who just starts will be making the same money as me, even though I've been there for 7.5 years now.
Mhm. Mhm.
Ah, I feel you, girl. I know that sounds petty and all. No, it
Mm-mm.
doesn't.
Mm-mm.
But this past year and a half has been hell working in the medical field. And because we're
Mm.
so short staffed, I stepped up to the plate and I'm doing a minimum of three people's jobs now. And
Mhm.
I've not even gotten a thank you. And now with the new pay rate, it's kind of a big fuck you to me.
Yeah.
Sorry if this sounds so whiny. I'm just tired of my work shitting on
Yeah, it is not whiny. I totally
me.
understand, and I hate
Mm-mm.
that for you. The thing is, especially being in the medical field, they
Yes.
need people so bad because my nurse at my doctor's office said they're losing people left and right who are literally quitting anything medical
Yep.
because they're too devastated.
And they're
Like,
fed up with people's BS.
yes. And so they're trying to entice new employees. Well, take care of your old employees and bump her up.
Okay.
7.5 years and somebody's going to walk in and start?
Yep.
Come on now. That's not right.
It's
And
not
I
right.
know, like, I know people are mad. The government gave COVID assistance and they're like, well, now people don't want to work. Wake up, businesses. Maybe you ought to pay people a living wage so that single mothers and fathers who have families that the mother needs to stay home
Mhm.
or vice versa don't need 4 jobs to survive.
Correct.
If you have to have 3 jobs to pay your rent and bills, something's wrong.
Yes.
Something's
They
wrong.
s they say your rent is supposed to be, no more than 30% of your income.
That's a
Well,
joke.
in LA alone, I think the average one-bedroom is what, 1,800? That's on the
Yes.
cheap end.
That's on the cheap end. There are
I'm in rent
studios.
control. I've hung
Yes,
on to my place for dear life because of rent control.
absolutely. There are studio apartments, just one room with a
Yep.
toilet that are going for 2,000 right now.
Yes.
Mhm.
So I'm like, if that's 30%, what are you doing for a living? What do you have to be making? $8,000 a paycheck, a month,
I
whatever? I
don't
don't
know.
know. I really feel for her on this.
I do.
Because I know anything in this field, I don't care what capacity you work in. If you are working in a hospital or a doctor's office, any kind of work within that field is grueling and taxing on a regular basis.
Yes.
It kills me that you are not being recognized for it, and for those who are also in this field that aren't. And I get you. I get you about this pay thing. And that happened to me quite a few times over the years. And I remember being so angry. And it's not because I don't think people also deserve a living
No.
wage, but I'm
No, no,
like,
no, no.
I,
Exactly.
I'm talking about places where I was there for as long as her or longer. And I'm
Yes.
like, it's taken me this many years to get to and you're starting someone $2 an hour less than me after a decade?
I
Like,
know. It
what?
makes you feel so
Insulting.
it's insulting, like you're not valued or respected or appreciated.
Yes.
And I'm
And you're the
sorry,
one who's loyal and
this is probably
dedicated.
absolutely. This probably means nothing coming from me, but I just want to say, and Jessica, I'm sure you agree, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, thank you. I
Yes.
do not have the fortitude or the emotional capacity to do what you are doing.
Same.
You know that I went to when I was in college, everybody told me because I lived in Springfield,
Mm-hmm.
Missouri, that being an actor was a dream and I needed to have a fallback plan. And so I was getting a minor in nursing. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
And I've
Oh God,
almost
you would have
quit.
been a great nurse.
No, I've almost quit acting twice to go back and work at the coroner's office because
Mm-hmm.
what I realized in college is I cannot handle loss, the death.
Mm-hmm.
So I would rather them already be dead because then all I'm doing is giving a family peace of mind, knowing what happened, why it happened. Like there's a piece in that. They can,
Approaching it, not that nursing isn't scientific, but approaching it more as a scientist than as a
yes,
compassionate giver of
I
care.
couldn't handle the loss. I would get too
Yeah.
involved. I
Yeah.
don't know how they do it. Their hours are also insane.
Hmm.
So if no one has told you thank you in just like the general public, just know that I think you're a hero. I think you're a warrior. I don't know how you all are doing it. School
Hmm.
teachers, same thing right now. You guys, you're warriors and I
Hmm.
appreciate you. Like yeah, it's just
All custodial and janitorial staff at schools and hospitals.
mhm.
Talk about unsung heroes. Like,
I know.
we are ranting out your frustration, and girl, you have every right to be mad.
And you're not being whiny.
No,
And if there is an opportunity for you to speak up for yourself, I hope that you can because that's not right. It's hard to speak up for yourself at a
I
job.
know. It
It
really
sucks.
is.
Also, if you are a business owner and happen to be listening, please don't make someone do 4 and 5 jobs.
No.
Please don't. That was happening to my sister at her job, and it just burns people out.
Yes.
And it's also not right. It's almost like you're using someone as a slave and not paying them.
It also cuts down on accuracy. no matter what your job is.
And productivity, because if I've got so much
Yep.
to do that I'm overwhelmed, I do not get it done as well.
You're already thinking about the other task, then you're
Uh-huh.
like 2 tasks back. Did I do that? Did I complete that? Or am I
Totally.
confusing it with what I'm doing now?
It
It's
doesn't
just too
serve at the
much.
end of the day,
No,
it doesn't serve anyone well.
no,
Not the
it's
business,
overwhelming.
not the person. Like, and also, you know what, guys? If you can't get people to work, there must be a reason. I'm sorry. I'm
Yes.
just going to say it. I know a lot of people are mad at the government. We're not a political podcast, whatever. I'm just going to say, if you paid them
Mm-hmm.
the way that you should, and we had benefits and things, whatever,
Right.
This is just
People keep saying that, by the way, and the federal subsidy has been cut off. It's now over. So
right.
I
So,
love that people are like, well, unemployment. It's like, well, you're not getting any extra anymore. And the maximum unemployment before taxes, mind you, that one can collect if you even qualify, and it's not easy to qualify for it,
no,
at least within California, pre-tax is $450 a week. If you would like to tell me how someone is supposed to live on that,
survive on that. Yeah.
when again, that is not even a fraction of someone's rent. Even for a baseline car these days, you're looking at over $200 for your payment. All these things. Are you kidding me? How do
Mhm.
you think people are living off the fat of the land by collecting $400 a week? Are you
Yeah.
kidding me?
No, yeah. It's
It's
just crazy to me. I mean, that's why all of the millennials are trying to be entrepreneurs because they don't get paid well and they're not treated well and they're overworked. And, you know, Amazon is now trying to entice people with promising, what is it, to pay for school or pay their school loans, one of the two. I don't know. I'm like, how about you just not overwork your employees and offer them benefits? How about you let them go potty when their bodies need to go potty?
Amazon makes enough that they could, even with tens of thousands of employees, could pay every employee $25 an hour, and I'm pretty sure could get a mega health plan when you got that many employees
Mm-hmm.
and give health insurance to your employees. How about
For
that?
sure. Also, Amazon, just for the record, there are nannies and babysitters that make more than your employees are.
Yep.
I
That's
mean,
right.
come on. I
Yep.
know they're taking care of children or whatever, but your employees are working real hard too. So if you don't want them to go out and be a nanny, you better start treating them right.
Totally.
At the very least, let them go potty. You can't stop potties.
No.
Ugh. We feel you. We're sorry. And
Yes.
thank you. And
Yes. Thank you.
if I could go slap your bosses around, I would do it for you.
We really would. We adore you.
All right.
I've already taken like 3 cleansing breaths on my own
I
during
know.
the
I
course of
know.
this. I even had a cleansing sigh.
Right. I love it. We've got some positive stuff coming up in our happy section. So don't worry. We're gonna cheer up and not be so snatchy, I guess. But I don't think I'm being a snatch. I'm speaking up
Not
for
at
what's
all.
right.
This is real life.
Yep.
All right, let's have a cleansing breath.
All right. Are we ready? I guess I should explain in case anybody's new around here. We like to rant out things from you guys, things from us, whatever. We know they're not that big a deal. However, I think this week they were a big deal. But we like to just have some normalcy in our life, complain and rant out for you the things that are aggravating you. We take a cleansing breath, we blow it all out, and we fill up with goodness. If you are in a position where you are allowed to scream it out with us, I would highly encourage it. It just feels good.
That's
All
right.
Let's take a deep breath in. And I love how in my inside brain I thought, stop talking shit about people and pay people rightly while I was doing my breath. All right, are we ready for corners?
Oh yeah.
Okay, I'm up for corners first. Am I correct?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm so excited because I chose my own corner, y'all. And I chose it based on, I've talked about this podcast before, No Such Thing as a Fish. It's a British podcast, and it's
yes.
the QI crew. They have just 4 of the most interesting facts They each bring 4 of the most interesting facts they've found that week, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I was listening to them. They're very fun. It's sort of similar to Spark My Interest, our Pod Squad
Mm-hmm.
gals. Interesting stories and things like that, except British. So I heard on there that, do you know what a star-nosed mole is?
I did not until I saw the picture. I love moles.
Okay, so some people are creeped out by moles, period. Some people are specifically creeped out by the star-nosed mole
It's a little
because
creepy.
it looks like the front of their face blew up. It does.
It looks like I never watched it, but what do you call that creature from Stranger Things? A gorgon or
Yeah,
something?
yeah, yeah, yeah. From the below, the
Yeah.
underneath or below or whatever. Yes. So it looks like somebody put a little firecracker at the end of their nose and it went boom, and then they just have like these little star phalanges. Okay, so they're strange looking, but the reason I went on a dive is because one of the facts was, did you know that their little star, which is how they feel and stuff, I'll read you some
Mm-hmm.
about that. So, oh, I didn't even say what my corner was. This corner is a what the what corner, okay? So they have more nerves, more like feeling in
Mm-hmm.
that little star 12 times more than the clitoris.
What?
I was like, what? I gotta find out more.
Oh my God.
So I'm gonna read you some stuff about these things. It's pretty crazy, okay? It's a small mole that inhabits wet lowland areas of North America. They have a strange
Hmm.
appearance with a unique star-shaped nose that's ringed with 22 fleshy appendages called rays, which they use to feel its way around and even hunt prey. Their members, we don't need to know what order they're a member of. I can't say it.
This-
Eulipotifila, I don't know. And family Talpidae, I don't know, which are small dark furred moles, true moles, and desmonds or something like that. Okay. They're found primarily in forests, marshes, wetlands, swamps, and near water. However, sometimes they are found in dry meadows further from the water. They are active both day and night.
Hmm.
They're still active during the winter. They have dark brown water repellent fur. Fully grown adult star-nosed mole typically measures only around 6 to 8 inches in length.
Wow.
Cutesy. While its tail is thin and hairy, maybe not so cute, 1 to 2 inches in length, they weigh around 50 grams when fully grown. Okay, it's a carnivore.
Hmm.
It eats aquatic insects, worms, mollusks, small amphibians, and small fish. Okay, so it's an eater. Ooh. Blah, 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 blah. Here we go. Are you ready for some facts?
Mm-hmm.
Their nose isn't used for smelling, it's used for touch, to feel around and hunt prey in the darkness. It hunts by bopping its little star nose. I made it sound cuter than what the article says. It just says bopping its star nose against the ground rapidly, and it can touch up to 12 different places in a single second.
What the heck?
They eat like 50 times faster than we can. It's insane. Okay, so their star nose rays are in constant motion when exploring. They're constantly touching and feeling. Their star, why did a video just start playing on my, shame on you, internet? Their star is the most sensitive touch organ known in any mammal. It contains 100,000 nerve fibers, around 5 times the number of touch fibers in a human hand, all packed into their little star, which is smaller than a fingertip. The sensory receptors are known as Elmer's organs. I don't know why I like that. It reminds me of Elmer's glue. After the scientists who first observed them, they help the mole detect seismic wave vibrations from its surroundings because they're blind. They can hardly see.
Yep.
Blah, 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 blah. They are colorblind and they see poorly. They can only see light and movement, basically.
Mhm.
Okay, next, the star moles sees the world with its star. You already told us that. Research shows that their brain is organized around signals from their stars, much in the same way that human brains are arranged by visual information from our eyes. They eat faster than any other mammal on Earth. I would like to put them against Gary Powell. He was in the military and then he was a firefighter. He's a pretty fast eater. But it says due to the vast sensory receptors in its star, the star-nosed mole is able to find an object and determine if it's edible and then eat it in under a quarter of a second.
What?
It's semi-aquatic. They can smell underwater.
That's
They sniff
amazing.
underwater by blowing bubbles towards an object and then re-inhaling the same air bubble to retrieve their scent and smell it. That's
That's really
pretty
cool.
amazing.
Yes.
I wish I could sniff underwater.
I know.
I don't know. Maybe it stinks under there. I don't know. They use their front legs as shovels. They can use them to dig shallow tunnels up to 100 feet in length. They burrow into their nest and they can make molehills. In winter, its tail swells up with fat, making it 4 times larger than its normal size. I mean,
Whoa.
that's kind of cool. I get a fat butt in winter too. Actually, I always have one, but that's all right. The star-nosed mole is the only mole thought to live in colonies. Isn't that cute? They socialize when they reproduce. The star-nosed mole mate once a year, and the male and female separate after birth. That sounds like the best arrangement. I think that's all I want to share. There's some other facts here, but those are the fun ones. Aren't they cute? But
they're so cute.
of course, because I'm a dirty bird, I was like, can you imagine what? I mean, I thought the clitoris was like the most sensitive. Can you imagine 12 times
No,
more?
I cannot.
I mean, we couldn't sit down. We'd be like, oh. And you know who would be in the worst trouble? I'll tell you who, in my opinion. Probably people who wear thongs, because I feel like it would get all up in your business. Couldn't handle it. And that's why thongs are bad for you.
Oh,
Anyway, that's my
God.
corner. I just was fascinated.
I love it. Moles
Look them
are
up.
so
They're real
cute.
cute. So
There's
cute.
a store that's in Solvang called the Mole Hole. It's like an old-timey gift shop. It's been around for like 30 years. There was one in Vermont that I used to go to with my granny as a kid. I just have always thought moles are so cute.
I do too, but grown-up people like my dad has had wars with moles.
Because
like
of his
rattles.
yard. Yeah, yeah. I know. They're like
Moles and
gophers and all those little
groundhog. Yeah. I make him not tell me about it because I'm like, I don't like it. I don't like death. When I was looking at that, there was also an article that popped up about, you know how much I hate mosquitoes. I think they don't need to exist. Kind of like
they don't.
I sort of feel that way about Enya, but Enya the music group.
What?
I just feel like they don't need to exist. I don't know.
I went to sleep to one
Last
of her
night?
to one of her albums for years.
Wait, it's a her?
Enya?
I thought it was a group.
It is, but the lead singer is a woman.
Okay, but there's always 10 million voices in
No, that's like them modulating and harmonizing her own voice. Maybe there's backup singers. I don't know. You don't need to ruin Enya for me. Did you never went and got a massage or something at a spa in the 90s? No. They always were playing Enya.
I didn't have a massage or go to a spa until I was in my 40s. I am a hillbilly.
Okay, well, I used to go get medicinal facials at my dermatologist's office, and they would play Enya. Fancy. That means they dug out all of your dirty ass pores.
Oh, okay. Well, you just made it sound way less fancy.
Every time I go for a facial, they're just like, okay, so are you cool with extractions? I go, yeah, I already know that's all you're going to be doing today.
It's probably also, I realized now that I'm older and had a lot more free time to read nonsense on the internet. A lot of times what we think is blackheads and stuff is really just sebum.
Yeah.
But you do still need to clean it out.
Yes.
Anyway, I digress.
Oh my God. Okay, you guys, our next corner is Dana's favorite. You're weird.
Yeah.
You're so very weird. Yeah. Why must you bring your weirdness here? You guys, this is another gem brought to us by Miss Dana Powell today.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't say where mine was from. Mine was from Oddity Central. You know, Spooky wrote it. This is my faves. This is my faves.
Dana's favorite author. This is also by Spooky. This is called Real Goldilocks. Mexican rapper Dan Sur has been getting a lot of attention lately, not because of his music. It's never a good thing. But because of his drastic physical transformation, replacing his natural hair with metal gold chains implanted into his head.
Implanted.
You guys, when Dana sent this to me, I reread it, and that's just the first line of it. 3 times because I'm like, wait,
you see the picture? Because we're gonna have to post that picture.
It's ridiculous. I can't wait to post the picture. With the internet and social media constantly producing new artists and influencers, it's hard to get noticed unless you do something truly extreme. Face tattoos, diamond studded grills, multicolored hair, it's all been done before. So attention seekers really have to get creative. Dan Sir, a young from Mexico. What does that mean, a young from
I thought it
Mexico?
said a young rapper. I think he's a rapper.
Okay, that's what I thought, but Spooky needs to proofread his work. A young from Mexico, it says. I mean, what,
Sorry
is he a
about it.
cousin of mine?
Spooky's a woman, by the way, but sorry about it.
No, I meant a young from Mexico, meaning a young, like my last name.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm. Seems to have found one such creative, albeit shocking, way of standing out from the crowd, replacing his natural locks with gold chains allegedly implanted into his skull. You guys, it looks like if you live in a big city, or even if you don't, if you've been to a bead and finding store and they
Yes.
have walls of chain,
Chain.
it looks like he just grabbed 8 rows and
Uh-huh.
pulled and then said, implant these into my head.
Yeah, all shapes, kinds, colors.
There's even one that's like a floral rhinestone.
Oh, I didn't notice
It-
that one. But my whole thing too is
How heavy
how
would that be?
heavy is gonna rip your
Thank
skull.
you.
It's gonna or your
Thank
scalp.
you.
It's gonna rip your scalp, dude.
Oh God, Dan Sir, I would like to know who told you that was a good idea and
It does
why.
not. Now, if you want to wear a chain wig, I'm all about it. It does look
Yes.
kind of neat. I'll be honest. It's not for me, but it does look a little bit kind of cool. It's a little bit like a metal Sia.
Hilarious. She means Sia, the artist.
I wanna swing this chandelier, chandelier. Did I get it right?
Oh my God.
Chandelier. It does look a little Sia-ish.
It's crazy. It looks so weird. I hate it.
Yeah, but he's gonna peel his scalp off his body.
I mean, come on.
If it
buddy.
really, they said allegedly implanted, so I'm like, is it though? Is it? Because, ouchie.
Okay.
Anyway, I just thought it was so insane. I was
No.
like, this is, I have to give this one to Jessica.
When you guys see this picture, you're going to be like,
You're gonna
"What?"
die. And some of you might be like, Dana's right. It's a little bit cool. A little bit. All right. Are we ready to move on into our rave?
Yes, let's do it.
Yes. This is that goodness portion of the show, y'all. Let's fill it up.
Mhm.
My rave is from the same listener as our rant. So thank you so much for sending that in. The rave is about the show Making It with Amy Poehler and Nick Offerman, both very funny people.
Mhm.
Have you seen this? There's 3 seasons out and it's so cool. People who are makers and crafters compete for a cash prize, but the cool thing is that it's not cutthroat but heartwarming, and it's really funny too. Anyway, I hope you all have a great week. Oh, and P.S. The episode about waiting for appointments at home made me think of my husband's job as a cable tech years ago. He has some stories about customers. Oh, God, I bet. It's not exactly related to the topic you all brought up, but it made me remember that one time a customer, she said you all. I think I said y'all. That's because I'm a hillbilly. I'm sorry. She typed fully, you all brought up. But it made me remember that one time a customer locked my husband in an attic he was working in just because he couldn't possibly do what the guy was asking him to do, but told him he better do it and locked him in.
No.
That's false imprisonment. That's a crime. Luckily, my husband had his cell phone on him and called his supervisor. It's just like, WTF. He has so many crazy stories. He works in the medical field now. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. No, that's scary too. Ugh, sorry this was so long. XOXO Megan. It wasn't too long. I have definitely seen a lot of commercials for Making It. I'm definitely a Amy Poehler and Nick Offerman fan.
Mhm.
And I love me some crafting, although I don't like that name. It makes me feel like I make doilies and blow glass at Silver Dollar
Yes.
City. So I would say Artistic Wanderer. Is that a good
Oh.
is that a good name? But I should check out that show. I think I would love it. Although I might get real jealous.
I think you would really like it. It's very innovative. I've only seen one episode, and it's not because I didn't like it. I just haven't had time to really invest in more. I've got just a couple of shows that I try to keep up with currently.
Yeah,
But
sure.
thank you for the reminder because I did love it. It was really great. I think specifically the episode was you had to make something to benefit your community. Like that was the theme of it. Like
I
something,
like
you know how they
that.
have like we've raved about this for like the little pantries or
Yes.
libraries and stuff.
Yes.
It was something to that effect, and I loved it. And people are so freaking innovative. It's very inspiring. If you want to,
People are so amazing.
yep.
And I love that they're doing something for that they did in that episode, something for their community.
Mm-hmm.
And also I love that it's heartwarming and not cutthroat.
Yes.
Because at least America, I know we have international listeners, but America is very mean right now.
Mm-hmm.
Very mean. And I
It's
would go so far as to say
embarrassing.
I could be part of the problem when I'm on the freeway going "Nyeh," with my snarl nose and my and my thumbs down at bad drivers.
Oh
I might
my
be part of the
God.
problem. But everything is so mean right now. We have to bring
Mm-hmm.
kindness back. And it sounds so cliche, but if you're in America right now, you definitely see it
Yep.
everywhere you go, every second of the day. And it's awful. We don't want to
Mm-hmm.
live this way. Life's too short.
Oh,
Bring Be Kind back.
exactly.
Okay, Making It with Amy Poehler and Nick Offerman, you guys. Our listener says
Look it up.
it's a good time and heartwarming.
Exactly.
What you got, Jess?
All right. This is a rave from a new listener to us. And thank you, Eric. He has been writing in, and I love it. We love all of our listeners, and we always get excited. This is someone who found out about us because his wife listened to us. And I love that.
I love it because
I
that's
think,
something they can share together. Because Dan Tipton and
yes.
I both listen to the dollop separately, but
And
we're
then you
able to
can talk
talk about
about
it
it.
together. I
Mhm.
love that. Yeah.
It's really
Yay,
fun.
that's so great.
So his rave is specifically about a program through Tito's Vodka. I'm sure most people know of Tito's these days. It's a
Some of us might have some in our freezer.
okay. It's vodka made in Austin, Texas. And this program, if you go on their site, and it is very extensive, so definitely take a peek because there's so much more than what I'm going to list as far as
awesome.
what they do. This is called Love, Tito's, like Love Tito's.
Mm-hmm.
It says, as we continue our support of social equity in 2021 with a $1 million donation commitment to local community oriented nonprofits across the country, we are working with many incredible nonprofits in the areas of mentorship, arts and culture, the food and beverage industry, and community building. Through our donations, we hope to help amplify their missions to support the Black community and create a positive impact for our neighbors. Below are a handful of the nonprofits we are supporting so far this year to help make a difference in the communities around us. The African American Chamber of Commerce of New Jersey, the Hot Bread Kitchen, located in New York City, Community Music Center of Houston, the Chicago Urban League, and Suncoast Black Arts Collaborative. There's so many organizations. These are all
so
incredible.
crazy. I'm looking at
we
this
could
list.
rave about each one of these individual organizations.
Episode after episode, yes.
Yep. I'll just pick one right now to talk about really quick. Chicago Urban League, established in 1916, works to achieve equity for Black families and communities through social and economic empowerment. We're supporting their Impact, that's an acronym, all caps, IMPACT leadership program aimed at racial parity in leadership positions by developing and supporting emerging African American leaders. So I chose that one just to pull out of this mix really quick because for many, many years, my dad was like an honorary board member or something, but my dad has always worked in executive search, and he's placed executive search, meaning like he never could help any of myself or my friends. We were too low on the totem pole. But like companies looking for a new CEO, CFO, vice president, things like that. And my dad placed like the new director of the Urban League, like for the whole national organization years ago.
Whoa.
And my dad became really friendly with some of the people there that he worked with. So my dad sat on
I
several.
could see that because your dad's awesome. So
Yeah, my dad wants to be everyone's friend. It's so cute.
I love it. I love it.
and he loved it. And they would always like invite him to their annual, I think they had like a big barbecue once a year at the one in Florida. And my dad loved it, and going back and seeing like colleagues over the years. And my dad always spoke so highly of what the Urban League does and what they stand for. So amazing that Tito's is doing this
So
again.
cool.
They have a slew of things that they are donating to. They also actively have a way for people to donate through their site. So hats off. Again, we are just constantly in awe of all of these nonprofits, but also of companies who are giving back any percentage of their time and or profits to put it back into communities or to help people in need. So thank
Absolutely.
you for that. And thank you for these great rants and raves today, listeners.
Yes. I love it.
Indeed.
Jessica,
Dana,
I think that's our
I
show.
think it is.
Do you want to tell people how to get a hold of us real quick?
Yes. Wow. That would be nice and novel, wouldn't it?
We didn't do it. That's my fault. I usually ask you and I didn't.
You can please find us and follow us on Facebook and Instagram at the Rants and Raves Podcast. You can email us directly at the Rants and Raves Podcast at gmail.com. You can go to the contact button on our website, www.therantsandravespodcast.com. And last and certainly least,
Yes.
Twitter at raves_the. Nothing against Twitter. It's just not really the medium or platform
It's not my
created for
jam.
us or our community. And we have
Yeah.
you guys, again, if you knew the joy between the DMs that Dana and I get personally and through our podcast, Instagram page, and Facebook page from all of you, we love it. And I look
So
forward, even just when someone send a picture that's like,
Yes.
oh my God, this made me think of you, or this made me laugh, show Dana, this plan is crazy, whatever it is, I love it. Thank
Yeah.
you guys. It is
I
a
mean,
real
you
joy.
guys, it so is. You guys are the ones that keep us going because
Yes.
it is work, you guys. Like Jessica is really, I'm kind of going through some stuff, and Jessica has really taken the
No.
brunt of the responsibility for a bit, and it's a lot of work. So when we get a message or a hello or a rant or a rave from you guys,
We
it
love
makes
it.
us so happy.
It's all mutual.
Yeah, it keeps us going. So thank you.
Indeed.
I like to have a point to ponder at the end of the show.
Mhm.
Jessica has to get to work, so I'm going to rush through it a little bit. But just so you guys know, by the time this comes out, I will have attended a life celebration for someone I love very, very much.
Mhm.
My little sweetheart, I call him my first child, because I nannied him from the time he was 3 months old until he was about 4, and
Mhm.
remained close with him and his family for his life. And
Mhm.
we just lost him to cancer. Fuck cancer, man.
Mhm.
Uh, a couple of weeks ago. And so tomorrow I'm attending an outdoor life celebration. So, what I wanted to use as a point to ponder this week, a couple of different things. I want to shout out on Instagram. I follow What's Your Grief because, I lost my mama. So, I've been dealing with a lot of grief and it's
Mhm.
really helpful. It's a community that's just like, hey, Netflix binges, laughing, and ways to cope. It's just really,
Mhm.
really wonderful. So, that's What's Your Grief. And then I wanted to read something that someone shared with Jessica. This is so interesting. This is like a self care tip, a reminder, and I want to leave this with you guys. There's a legit reason you feel like absolute shit right now. You might be feeling a little over it. The psychological reason for this has something to do with surge capacity, which I had never heard of.
Mhm.
But it's fascinating. What is surge capacity? It's a collection of adaptive systems, mental and physical, that humans draw on for short term survival in acutely stressful situations such as natural disasters. The issue is that our surge capacity only allows us to adapt to major disasters if they are temporary. However,
Mhm.
with the pandemic, the disaster stretches out indefinitely. The emergency phase has now become chronic. So, because this is ongoing, on and on and on, your surge capacity is depleted and it needs to be renewed. So, here are some things you can do to feel better. Accept that life is different right now. Expect less from
Mhm.
yourself, you guys. It's okay to expect less from yourself. Recognize the different aspects of grief because there's a lot of grief. It's global grief. Okay.
Yep.
Look for activities, new and old, that continue to fulfill you. Maybe you want to learn how to macrame. I don't know. You can learn on YouTube.
Yes.
Focus on maintaining and strengthening important relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Build regular practices into your life that promote resilience, such as better sleep, good nutrition, exercise, meditation, self compassion, and saying no.
Mm-hmm.
Jessica and I are working on every single one of those things
Yep.
respectively right now, and I encourage you to do the same. We
Yep.
love you guys. We are all at surge capacity. Also, I always have mentioned one of my favorite podcasts, the Happiness Lab. Guys, check out Treating Heartache, I believe is the name of the episode. I
Mm-hmm.
sent it to you, Jessica, and I don't have my outline up. But anyway,
Okay.
How to Treat a Broken Heart is the
Oh,
episode.
yes. How to treat a broken heart.
It's
Yes.
all about rejection, both social, romantic, employment, everything. It's fascinating. It will encourage you. Let's be easy on ourselves. Have a
Mm-hmm.
wonderful week. We'll be back next Tuesday. Jessica, I love you with all
Yes.
my heart.
I love you too. And I think on behalf of everyone, we wish you a safe trip. And my heart's going out to you and to your friends' family.
Thank you. I'll tell you what, everybody, remember the name Jack Heitner. He was real special.
No. He was very, very lucky to have you.
I was lucky to have him. So, love you guys. Hug your
Love
babies.
you.
Hug your people you love. Hug them. Life's too
Stay
short.
safe.
Stay safe, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.